Being lazy is often very misunderstood. I've actually never heard of someone who was laying in his bed the whole day and just was doing nothing. I mean, no TV, no smartphone, nothing. Your brain simply just does the things that require the least amount of effort and give you the most amount of dopamine. That's just how the brain works. So if you think about maybe working out, your brain don't want to do that because it requires big effort and the reward is far ahead in the future. You won't see the reward after one training. And that's why your brain prefers to just watch YouTube and scroll on TikTok, because that's this quick amounts of dopamine, that pleasure. And your brain actually thinks that it helps you to survive scrolling this fucking app. So being lazy in most people's understanding is just having a very overstimulated brain that can't do the tasks that you want it to do, the ones that you don't see the instant reward after. But being lazy and being undisciplined are quite different things. Because if you are lazy, that just means you have fucked up dopamine system in your brain. And if you are undisciplined, that just means you don't have enough mental power to do the difficult tasks that you want to do. So if you actually follow the advice I will be giving you in a moment, you will be looking forward to your next workout, to helping your parents, even to learning to school or taking action on your side hustle. So as I said, it all comes down to your dopamine system in your brain. One story I can share with you is I worked in McDonald's 2 years ago on a Mac Drive, and it was such a fucking boring job. Like, I was sitting there on 7 a.m., one car every 30 minutes. So I was basically sitting there 30 minutes, nothing to do. I wasn't allowed to have a phone with me or any book or anything. I was just fucking sitting there 8 hours a day, and most of the time I wasn't doing anything. And actually, when the traffic started getting bigger and there were a few cars in the line, I enjoyed the work so much because it gave my mind something to focus on. And it was genuinely fun to do the work of clicking on these fucking burgers on that screen, because I haven't done anything for a whole day. What I'm trying to say is that your brain has to get the dopamine from somewhere. It just must get it from some source, some outside source. And if you stop doing the activities that normally give you a lot of dopamine, your brain will be looking for a source to just get it and feel that pleasure. And at that point, even simple activities like listening to podcasts will give you as much pleasure as literally playing video games with your friends. So think about what activities bring you the most dopamine, the most pleasure, and just try to limit them. Ideally, you would want to quit them, but I know it may be very difficult, so just try to limit them every day, and you will pretty much after 1 or 2 days see the difference. That's your brain will want to get the dopamine from somewhere else. And if you want to literally get your dopamine from working boring jobs, you must go on a total monk mode. If you are not aware of what monk mode is, it's basically when you cut out all the toxic activities that gave you dopamine, like social media, junk food, porn, masturbating. And basically, if you stay on that monk mode for a few days, your brain will start to panic and it will literally try to get the dopamine from the simplest tasks. And this is exactly the point at which you will get pleasure from any activity. And if you want to learn more about monk mode, Hamza made an incredible video about it. It's like 1.5 hours long. Just go and watch that. Incredible value. So to summarize, if you want to stop being lazy, you must basically just reduce or completely cut out all the activities that give you a lot of dopamine. There isn't really any habit or anything you can do to stop being lazy, because as I said, being lazy and being undisciplined are two different things, and you become disciplined by doing difficult things, but you stop being lazy by reducing this toxic dopamine activators in your life. I know it may be really difficult to stop doing the social media stuff or watching porn, but I went through it and it's really worth it. Like at the beginning, it may seem like it's impossible to quit these things, but you don't have to change overnight. You can just slowly work towards improving yourself and reducing these toxic habits so that every day you are better than you were yesterday. And after a few months, you look back and you're a completely different person. Of course, these motherfuckers on the internet will try to tell you that it's okay to be a weak, that it's okay to be feminine. But if you really agreed with them, you wouldn't be watching this video, would you? This channel is a movement of young guys who just want to be that top 1%, who want to dominate in this society, who don't want to work these shitty minimum wage jobs and be depressed all their life. We want something more from life. And if it was easy, everyone would do it. But the thing is, it is difficult, incredibly difficult. But I can assure you, it is worth it. I really hope you got some value from this video, and I believe in you. You can change.